Lysosomes fusion with phagosomes.
In this video, I'm going to be talking about why it is important for phagosomes to fuse to the lysosomes in order to degrade uh, exosomes with the cathepsins. So also make sure to like and share these videos with your friends and family so that way these videos are pushed out by the algorithm so that the videos reach more people to help out more people, because I know that cancer rates are high and possibly going even higher. I do believe that other health influencers on YouTube and other biochemistry and health channels are leaving out a lot of information that people need to know, so that's why these videos need to be pushed out further. Okay, so this video is about lysosomes, and basically, uh, uh, the phagosome maturation has to be supported, and there are foods that enhance acidification, reactive oxygen species, as well as lysosomal fusion. So, after exosome uptake, a cell internalizes exosomes via endocytosis or phagocytosis, which is the actual engulfing by the macrophage and neutrophils, which I've talked about in other videos, and they usually end up in late endosomes or phagosomes. And these compartments mature and often fuse with lysosomes. Here's the important part. So when the phagosomes fuse with the lysosomes, this fusion delivers the cathepsins, and the cathepsins are needed to degrade the DBP or vitamin D complex, because if the cathepsins cannot do so, then active vitamin D levels will be deficient or low. So, low vitamin D can lead to a lot of immune system failure problems, which is beyond the scope of this video. So, phagosome lysosome fusion is the standard pathway enabling cathepsin activity. Without that fusion, cathepsin mediated degradation of exosomal cargo is inefficient. Now, in order for exosomes to make more sense, you should watch my other videos based on exosomes. That way, this video will make a lot more sense. Okay, now on to some foods that can improve phagosome maturation. Therefore, the lysosome can fuse with the phagosome. And these are zinc-rich foods. These increase phagolysosome fusion and antimicrobial activity. So pumpkin seeds have zinc, oysters have very high zinc. They also have copper to offset extremely high zinc. Beef has zinc. Chickpeas also have zinc. A good way to help zinc levels is with quercetin, like in apples. Quercetin are also in pairs, because quercetin acts as an ionophore to push zinc into the cells. Also, supporting interleukin 2, which is a cytokine, can also help upregulate ZIP transporters, which are responsible for transporting zinc. So zinc supports NADPH oxidase activity, which improves phagosome maturation. So next foods is vitamin D foods. So that upregulates phagolysosome acidification. So some vitamin D foods would be fatty fish, such as salmon, sardines, mackerel, egg yolks, and fortified dairy. So vitamin D enhances phagosome lysosome fusion. So nitric oxide also helps for energy for phagosome maturation. A good source of nitric oxide, or what can boost it, is watermelon. Watermelon contains citrulline, which is converted to arginine or supports arginine levels. Therefore, nitric oxide production for microbial killing, and then energy for phagosome maturation. Also, protein or amino acids is fuel for phagocyte function. Since the neutrophils and macrophages, they have to engulf the pathogen, and then they fuse with the phagosome lysosome, but that's beyond the scope of this video. So some good sources of protein and amino acids are eggs, chicken, Greek yogurt, and lentils. Also, a special fruit to add in with those amino acids to help improve the digestion. And no other fruits have this effect, or at least not up to date. And that fruit is kiwis. Kiwis, if eaten together with amino acids, kiwis help the amino acids to digest and become more bioavailable in the gut after consumption and then during the digestion process. So that's what makes kiwis very unique compared to other fruits. The next one here is a combo, and that is garlic and onions, uh, such as garlic, onions, and leeks, and sulfur compounds enhance macrophage activity as well as a lysosomal enzyme function. So garlic and onions helps lysosomes, and then garlic and onions combined with the previous foods that I already mentioned earlier enhances phagosome maturation. Therefore, the phagosome and the lysosome they can fuse together to create or allow the function of cathepsins to degrade exosomes so that tumors cannot receive exosomes, and also to upregulate the vitamin D complex being degraded by the cathepsins to raise or increase active forms of vitamin D. The next one also goes great paired together with onions and leeks and garlic, and that is mushrooms and has beta glucans. So up regulates maturation signaling and leading to phagosome formation. So mushrooms such as shiitake, maitake, and white button mushrooms. And because the beta glucans in mushrooms, they bind pattern recognition receptors, stimulating phagosome formation. So that is supposed to help uh, upregulate the cathepsins to raise vitamin D or the active form of vitamin D if mushrooms are paired together with the foods that I already mentioned throughout the whole video. The next one is also paired great with the garlic, onions, and leeks. Uh, since those upregulate lysosome enzymes, then next one, iron balanced foods. These iron is required for oxidative burst inside phagosomes. Therefore, the phagosome can fuse with the lysosome to increase of active forms of vitamin D. But too much iron can feed pathogens, so balance matters. So, quick recap, lysosome has to fuse with the phagosome. That allows the cathepsins to be able to degrade the exosomes so that tumors do not receive exosomes. Cathepsins are also supposed to degrade the vitamin D complex. If the cathepsins cannot do so, then that leads to deficiency of active forms of vitamin D. So that's it for the video. If you're interested in more future videos, then make sure to like, comment, and share and subscribe. Keep it locked in here on my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.